Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Bo. Um, Rarely do I show a haul and then show how the results are on the track, and today's going to be a little different. This was my haul from just a couple days ago on Sunday at a flea market. Killed it with one of the dealers. Just got some incredible pricing on everything you see, and plus some really special other stuff that I haven't dusted yet. But let's get into some pretty cool racing. First things first, we're going to try this Truck Stoppers 5-pack, which he was selling for $5. Can you believe it? Usually they're asking 8 to 15 for any of these 5-packs, but this Truck Stoppers had some interesting pieces that we're going to race. This dairy delivery is never anything, so I kept him out. But we dusted up a couple pieces. We're going to have plastic against metal. On the plastic side, one of the reasons I bought this 5-pack was this flash slider. The 5-spoke flash slider from the Steel Stamp series is really fast, at least the one I have. You know, maybe it was just a freak. But sometimes there's that 5-pack voodoo magic that I call it. There's that voodoo speed that it has. So he's going to be going up against, um, let me see here. It's usually like a service truck or sometimes even an ambulance or whatever. I don't know. This time it is an emergency vehicle, so it is an emergency blue. It's called Blue Van. So let's get them in the line. They have not been run or broken in. We'll see if they break in during the races. And check out what speeds that they're at, and we'll get the winner up against the ranks and see if it makes it in. Here we go. Race one. Flash Slider's looking pretty dominant. 2094. That's not going to do much for the ranks, but let's switch him up and let's see if he breaks in to a 2156 for that van. We have the Flash Slider in lane 2, and I always call these the bread boxes, you know, because I mean they look like bread trucks. So it's the bread truck ambulance going into lane 1, and we know the result of the race. Let's just see if the Flash Slider breaks in just a little bit more. Actually, the bread truck did. Bread truck 2140. Flash Slider got slower at 2110. Okay, let's go to the other side and we'll race the metals from that 5-pack. First up on the metal side is a PR5 El Camino. Metal bottom. And I forget the weight on this. I think it's like 43 grams. I don't have my scale out with me right now. It is going up against a Fat Fendered 40. The second reason I bought that 5-pack beside that Flash Slider is I've never had a fast Fat Fendered 40, and I've had a lot of different versions. Never had this 5-pack version with the small 5 spokes. Let's see if it can get it done. I hope so. That'd be cool to have a Fat Fendered in the ranks and finally find one. So here we go. Race number 1. Ooh. All right. Fat Fender 40 with a 2083 to a 2108 for the El Camino. Let's switch them up. All right, we busted out the scale. Let's just put these guys on here just to confirm their weights. 43 grams, pretty much standard with those El Caminos. And the Fat Fender 40 is at 55.5 grams. Let's get these guys with the lane switched. And we'll send them. Hopefully we'll see a little more out of that Fat Fender 40 because he may not be busting the ranks at that time with those times. Here we go. Another pretty good run. Another 2080. 2089 to a 2115. So we have the Fat Fender 40 against the Flash Slider. Let's send them up to the top of the track. Before we go to the top, Flash Slider is probably around, wow, 51 grams for this Flash Slider. Heavier than the Steel Stamp. Steel Stamp is like 49 or 50. Interesting. So in the same weight class, but not in the same class, because one is plastic with the flash slider being that, and the fat fender is metal. Let's see what kind of race we have here. Fat fender 40, 2084 to a 2097 for the flash slider. Let's switch them up. Lanes are switched. Fat fender again with the win. 2082, a little bit faster. 2098 for the flash slider. Let's get both these guys against the gatekeepers and their weight ranks. Let's see what we got. All right, in the 51 to 62 plastic base class, we have this black Charger from Dom's 5-pack. I have a couple of these. I don't even know what the other one does. I don't know why they're not fast. That is a badass ass looking car. I'd say it's in my top 3 of the bunch. I think it's just a great line, great blown supercharger sticking out. Really done well by Mattel, but I can't get them going, and I haven't seen anybody else really have a elite one. Maybe a couple quick ones out there, but just can't get mine to break loose. Okay, for the gatekeeper spot, can the flash slider get him? That would be no. One and done. 2073 for the Charger, 2092 for the flash slider. We're going to call that one a day, and we'll move on to the Fat Thunder 40. Okay, you know it and you hate it. I mean, you love it. Maybe I hate it. Maybe it's just this one. He is the gatekeeper, and I think he's about to get his ass kicked, and I'm not unhappy about that. Can't get anything consistent out of him. I've been from the high 2050s into the 2080s with this thing, and no matter what I've done to it, no matter the graphite that I've used, it just doesn't want to go. And most recently I used liquid on the back just to try to get things going, and still with graphite on the front. Liquid doesn't spin as much, but it has retention for the weight that it has to bear during the transition and the run. So again, graphite wasn't getting me anywhere. Tried some liquid. It had a few moments, and I thought, okay, here we go. But it just reverted right back. So let's see if this Fat Fender 40 can actually get in the ranks. That'd be a good day. I'm going to say hell yeah, because that time machine was just sitting there. All right, 83 to 89, a 6/1000ths advantage by the Fat Fender 40. Let's switch up the lanes. All right, lanes are switched. Rooting for the Fat Fender 40 because this time machine is going to go to the grandson. Aww. Time machine broke in. 86 to 90, he still can't do it. The Fat Fender 40 had a bigger beat, and so he's in the gatekeeper spot. Boy, that's a pathetic time for that class, but a lot of those cars have moved into the top 24, so that class is kind of getting rebuilt. All right, let's send it back up to the top and look at some other castings. All right, guys, let's speed test some castings, and then we'll see how they do in the ranks. We'll go one by one. I've had a couple of these red Zenders. One was loose. One had bad wheels from the card. This one had really, really good wheels. So I'm optimistic that we can maybe get something out of this thing. Let's set them in the lanes. I'll go ahead and set the spacer, come back, and we'll do 4 runs with this guy and see what he times. All right, let's get him on the scale. I think he's around 34, 35. 35 grams, 34.8. Let's get him actually on the scale. Yeah, 34.8 grams. He's in the line. We're looking for times, guys, probably around 2090 to 95 to even have a chance. If it's 2100, I might run him against the gatekeeper, but it'll be it won't be a race. So let's see what we have here in run number 1. Seems smooth. Okay, we have something. Let's go send him back up for run number 2. Run number 2. $91. Not a bad time to back it up. Let's switch the lanes, do a couple runs down there, and let's get him against the Gatekeeper. Run number 3 in first run in lane 2. Seems slow. Okay, 2087. Just heard a little bit more noise there. Pretty decent run, very consistent. So hopefully I can clock off another one, and he might have a chance to get into the wheel. All right, he looks good in the line. Seemed pretty good to me. We have a mistake there. I don't know if the clock reset right, so we'll go back up to the top of the track, reset everything, and get him for his 4th run. Run number 4. $84. Graphite's breaking in to the bores, so let's get him up against the Gatekeeper and see what he has when he goes head-to-head. Guys, we actually have 2 Gatekeepers. They're so close that I couldn't throw out one versus the other. This is the 5-pack 350Z from the Fast and Furious Hot Wheels 5-pack of last year. It weighs in at 37.6 grams. And let's get these 2 bad boys in the line. This should be a great race. Because the Zender was running 3 2080s out of the 4, it's going to be a good race. That's around where this car is. So based on the head-to-head performance, which is so different than the single run performance, we'll see what happens here. Good start. Oh, Zender. Yeah, baby. Well, see. Okay, I don't know what happened there with the time, but the Zender absolutely won that race. I'm not sure why we had a reset there. We did not reset the timer. It's still, switch is still open. Okay, we'll give that another shot. And we'll keep him in the same lanes, but yeah, the Zender stayed out on him. And the 350 has good top end, but so does the Zender. Zender again, we got a time this time. No, we don't. It won. But let me reset some things here, guys, and see what's going on with the system. All right, we are back. Just a little splicing repair that we had to do. And for guys that are getting this track and going to build a hill similar to what I did, and not a permanent hill, what you got to do, guys, is just get yourself some slack as you come up around here with the wires. What was happening is this entire wire was pulling down and pulling the one wire free, which was the timing wire. So what I did is I just electrical taped that underneath, creating some slack so that there's no pressure on those wires as we move forward. There's just a little bit of slack right there. And so these wires have no tension on them and they're good to go. In the first race, I'm not going to rerun it again in the same lanes. This guy ran a 2088, pretty consistent. And the 350Z ran a 2090. So a 2 1/1000ths advantage for the Zender as we switch lanes. Race 2. Zender is out and got him. We have a faster wheel. 2087 to 2096. We have a new Gatekeeper. Thank God. And I say thank God because I knew that everything below these 2 guys, which was a Thomasina 3 and that 350, are pretty fast. And I was hoping I'd get to this point where we would get something that's pretty consistent, faster than them, to be the Gatekeeper for this plastic class in the 31 to 40. And I mean, this guy has been the most consistent car I've had. This is the Jaguar XJ. I've had it for years. It actually was in my top 90 when I was running him at that point. And right now, I mean, it's, you know, it's not that fast because I'm running so many cars, but it is in the ranks. And will it be the Gatekeeper, or will it hold on to its number 11 spot? We're going to find out. Looks like it's going to hold on to number 11. And again, we are without the time. I'm going to have to take it to a shop and get those wires spliced. But for right now, Jaguar took race 1, and we'll go back up for race number 2. Okay, lanes are switched. I worked on the wires a little bit. Hopefully we can get some time here. Let me just make 100% sure. We'll be right back, and we'll run this race. Okay, guys, no promises. Here we go. Race number 2. Again, we got some time. Yay. It is the Jaguar running a 2086 to a 2089 for that Zender. That Zender's been very, very consistent, so I'm glad he's in the Gatekeeper spot in the 31 to 40 plastic. This is probably as happy as I've been in terms of where things are now. Anything that's replacing these, it's just going to make this faster, but that 31 to 40 is pretty tight right now. All right, let's move this train on. We put one in. I don't know if we're going to get another. Anytime is like a Bubba roll. Anytime you can get a Dodge concept car for $1, go buy it. They come in varied wheels, and this is the 3-spoke gold. Gold means fast. Let's run him in, and we'll just give him a couple runs, and then we'll put him up against the weight classes, which I believe he's in the 51 to 62, 51.6. Run number 1. And 2097. That's not good. Not for that class. I mean, we just saw what got in there is that Fat Fender 40, which was running a little bit better times than this bad boy. Concept. Run number 2. Straight as an arrow. Those things are consistent as hell. Just need a splicer, because obviously we do not have a timer right now. So we'll try to keep working on those wires, and we'll come back and we'll put them up against the Gatekeeper, and hopefully we have some times to see. For the Gatekeeper spot, Fat Fender 40 in lane 2, the Dodge concept car in lane number 1. Fat Fender 40 with a possible defense here. 2091 to the connection just went away again. And guys, we're back. No shop work needed. I just took it apart and redid it myself, so it is in there pretty good. We should be all right for the rest of the session here. Fat Fender in lane 2, concept in lane 1. Let's run them. Fat Fender with a 7 1,000ths beat. 2090 to 2097. Let's switch them up. Race number 2. Fat Fender looking good. 2086 to 2091. What I want you to think about, guys, is how heavy these cars are. Metal bottom, good wheels, running 2086 to 2091. That's the times that 31 to 40 plastic class is running right now. All right, let's move on to some more castings to test. Next up is the Skate Series Tony Hawk Solaire CX4. Plastic base. Let's get the weight, send them down a couple times, and we'll test them in the ranks. 42.7. Pretty nice weight for a plastic base Solaire. It's tough to beat the plastic base gold medal speed, so I don't know if he's even going to make the ranks, but I'd be amazed if he can get to that point. Oh, that's quiet. Wiggles like crazy, though. And for him, his first run, 2083. Not bad. Let's switch it up and see what he's got. Hot lap number 2. Better run. Slower time, but it didn't wiggle. 2089. I'm not sure if that's going to get in the class or not. Let's put him up against our Gatekeeper in the 41 to 52, or the 41 to 50 one plastic-based class. All right, we were back. Yeah, the gold medal speed is sitting third in that class. I don't think this guy's going to get to that point. These top three in the class have really shown themselves apart from some other very fast castings. Let's start out with the Gatekeeper, which is the Mr. Mom's minivan. You know it, you love it. $43.3. And Tony again comes in at 42.7. Let's get him in the line, and it should be a good race. Can Mr. Moms hold on to the Gatekeeper spot? I hope so. It's a cool vehicle. Here we go. Race one. Oh, yeah. Head to head, it was throwing a lot of bad air the Solaire's way. And 2082 to 2102. Let's switch them up. The lanes are switched. Oh, Mr. Moms. 2077 to a 2087. The Solaire does not cut the mustard. All right, guys, here's that number 3 gold medal speed Solaire and at 41 to 50 plastics. 41.2. Man, I wish it was just a couple grams lighter. He might be making the run to Tennessee in Brandon's race here, but it is not. But I'll show you what he's about here in our class. He's third ranked against our Gatekeeper, Mr. Mom's minivan. Mr. Mom's ran a 2077, which is a great time, but there's 2066 for this Solaire. Let's switch them up. Race 2. All Solaire. Look pretty good there. 2068 to 2082. Two consistent times for the cars, but just wanted to show you where that top crust is. We have a couple cars even faster than that. Let's move on. I know for me, guys, the stigma is totally gone about plastic-based cars not being fast. When we're seeing the white Mustangs and the Ghiblis, I have a couple others that are pretty damn fast. There's nothing wrong with the plastic-based class. You just got to look a little bit harder to try to find it. This is a Hot Ones steamroller. I stole it. I got a 4-pack funny car set that was that it had the hot stuff in it, and the Hearst and the Hot Bird and the Firebird funny car. Got that for $8, and he gave me these 3 cars for $7. I paid $15 for that 4-pack funny car set, the steamroller, this Aero funny car, and this Largen Charger. We're going to test these guys today. This steamroller we've seen on Northern Roads Racing looked pretty fast in the switchback, but I was looking at it mainly in the straightaway. 53.1, nice weight. And the wheels, I think, work best out of the 3 here. So I'm pretty anxious about that. Those wheels suck. I was really, really optimistic about that Largen Charger. We'll see what it runs, but those wheels suck. Let's put some cars in the line and start testing them for speed. I'll go set the spacer. We'll be right back and see what this steamroller does. Okay, run 1 for the steamroller. Nice and straight. Don't know about the speed. 2088. Let's switch it up. A little better look at it. Iconic casting from the early 70s. This one is really, really redone well. And I'm sure it's faster than the early 70s models. That's when the wheels were starting to get a little bit slower for Hot Wheels. And these were the 2011 Hot Ones, which they do pretty well. We can get some low 2080s out of him. I would be pretty excited. to get him into the ranks. Here we go. There we go. Broke in a little bit. 2077. Let's put him up against that fat fendered 40 who's making a lot of defenses today, but he might go down to the steamroller. All right, we'll weigh these guys up again. The fat fendered 40 comes in at 55.6, and that steamroller is 53 grams. Steamroller in lane number 2. Gatekeeper. Lane number 1. Race 1. All steamroller. 2076 to 2081. We have a 5 1,000ths advantage for the steamroller. And we're going to switch up the lanes. Lanes are switched. Steamroller with the advantage. And another win. He is the new Gatekeeper. 2081 to 2084. We might do a rework on that fat fendered 40 to see what he has, but for right now, steamroller's in that Gatekeeper spot. I didn't think it would last long, but man, that was pretty crazy. I have some iconic cars that it's going to have to get through in order to get up the ranks. The steamroller is going to be facing a Datsun 280Z by Matchbox. Starburst wheels. Have a bunch of them in the line, or in the ranks, and have a bunch of them in line here to defend their rankings. So for right now, the steamroller has its work cut out for it in this weight class. Okay, guys, race number 1. And that's the difference we needed to see. 2052 for that 280Z, and 79 for the steamroller. Yeah, this class had to be rebuilt from the bottom up, so this is going to be a very fast class to try to get through, but right now this Gatekeeper spot was kind of weak, so he's going to stay in that Gatekeeper spot. That was a one and done, and we recalibrated those before just last week, so I'll take a look at them again because 2052 is moving. But again, when you're talking about the weight turbulence or the wind turbulence and stuff like that, I tested those pretty well to see what was what. Up next, please get me a fast funny car, please. I have no fast funny cars, and this guy at 67.4 grams has been known to be fast in the past. We dusted him up. We're going to give him a couple speed runs, and I'll be right back to show you those. And we'll see if he's worth anything or not. Run number 1. No. He's going to have to break in a little bit, but 2062 is not going to get him even a first round win. So let's switch him up. Run number 2. Will there be a break-in? Not much. 2058. Let's try him in the ranks and see if he gets anywhere or not. So we'll be right back. The top 24 Gatekeeper is the Polar Studi. He weighs in somewhere between 64 and 65 grams, 64.7. We'll get him in the line, and this Aero Funny car in the line. And I think this is a foregone conclusion because this Studi throws a lot of bad air and it's fast on its own right. Here we go. No problem. 54 to 62. An 8 1,000ths difference. Let's switch them up. Race 2. All Studebaker doing what it does. Again, I wish that thing was consistent. Look at that, 2037 to 2061. Maybe it'll break in and just start running 2030s. Who knows? But it'll do that. It'll go 2030s and then go back to 2050s. It's that Johnny Lightning Death Wobble, but really fast truck. All right, guys. The arrow does not get in. All right, before we calibrate that arrow, I just, because he's the gatekeeper in the 62 and over, which is all funny cars, wanted to run this hot stuff. Did a rework on him last week. Honestly, didn't run it. So this is going to be his first run to see what, if anything, if he's going to be improving in speed or if he's just going to remain as slow as he is. Let's see what we got. I did some new black ice. Just twitch the formula a little bit. 2037, that's a pretty nice time. To a 2059, let's switch them up. Race number 2. 2039 to a 2070. Maybe we brought him back. 2 consistent runs, 2 runs right out of the box. I wanted to let the black ice sit. That's kind of what the Pinewood guys say that are running liquid, to not run them right away, or if you do run them a couple times, to then definitely let it sit overnight or for a couple days. Well, this sat, yeah, this sat. So maybe it's back. Who knows? Ran 2 pretty good times there. Let's see if this arrow can get into the over 62 class. Second video where I've dropped cars. That one got hung up on that wonderful lace that I have down. Just a great racing surface, you know. Unreal. He cannot. I'm not even going to run him again. Has a 2059 to a 2064. I'm satisfied that he is not even going to get into the over 62 class. Let's move on to that large and in charger. Okay, last and probably definitely least, which I was hoping it was going to be the best, this large and in charger. I didn't run them, but these axles on the front are toast. They are garbage. Okay, that would have to be drilled out and reset. Back wheels are good. Yeah, that's great. Let's see what it runs in times. I have a feeling it's going to be disappointing. We saw a Scoops charger here, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to get myself one of those someday and dust one up. Well, for for the price, I never thought I was going to be able to get these 3 cars for basically $7 total. So I couldn't pass this up. Just unfortunate about those front wheels. Let's see if it makes a difference. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's 2100. 2091. Let's switch that up. Man, oh man, that's a shame. Oh well. I'm not even going to run them against the class here, guys. This will probably be the last run of the day, and maybe we'll see what we got here. All right, here we go. '81. No, that's not going to get into the 50s class when we're talking like high 2050s. So the large end charger is a catastrophic fail, and that was going to be it for the day. But I'm just curious about something now. You know, we see the hot stuff do what it did. I'm going to rework the noodle head. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, did the rework and put a little air to it. Been reading a lot of what Pinewood guys are doing because they're splitting hairs, maybe even more than we are on different things, because they're able to do a little bit more than we are. So I'm trying to apply some different techniques that they're using. So I redid the mixed formula for the black ice. I don't use black ice on anything new anymore, but just a couple of these classic cars that I've had for a while. It's like once you start, you really can't stop. You can clean them with 91% alcohol or Dawn and try to redo it, but even then it really doesn't get it back to the original. This guy, because of my drops, as you saw today and before, we're not going to be chancing anymore. He is retired. He's going to be in the over 62 weight class, but really not run anymore. But I just wanted to see what the rework does to the noodle head. He was in like the low to mid 2040s, so if we can get him into the 2030s like the hot stuff, that's cooking. That's moving. So here we go. Run one. 2040. A little better than what he was. He was like between 41 and 44. So let's switch up the lanes and see what he has on run number 2. We'll try to do 3 runs for a break in. And then that'll be it today, guys. I just wanted to do a little bonus here. Didn't expect to, but that hot stuff kind of inspired this. Here we go, run 2. That's not good. That's not good at all. We'll switch it up. It's not bad. I mean, that's still faster than 90% of the cars out there, period. And I'm not upset about that, but he should be running a little bit better than that. Let's see what we have here in run number 3, just seeing if there's a break-in. 2040. We'll run it one more time in lane 2, and then we'll call it a day. At least we got the hot stuff faster. Like I say, that noodle head's going to retirement, so it doesn't really matter too much for the ranks anymore anyway. He's going to just sit in a cameo appearance. Here we go. Last run of the day. Straighter, say. 44. Not good, but not bad. You know, I mean, for a 52-year-old car, I challenge any red lines out there. If there's any original red lines that are faster than this, let's go. That's all I have today, guys. What we had, I think, was a productive day. Anytime you can put a new car in the ranks, which we did twice, even though the one got booted out. We had him in the ranks for a few runs. This fat fendered 40, but he might wake up with a rework or 2. We saw the hot ones not do too bad. We have the steamroller in the ranks as the Gatekeeper. We had that red Zenderfact 4, looked really good, really consistent as the Gatekeeper. I'm pretty happy with that class right now. Firebird Funny Car was a fail. Flash Cider was a fail. El Camino and the Bread Truck was a fail. Tony Hawk Solaire was a fail. And Large and Charger was a catastrophic fail. So out of many fails, guys, comes maybe 1 or 2 that you can feel good about. And that's kind of a typical day in diecast racing. So for right now, we'll be signing off and hope everyone has a great day.